That's right, the Pokémon anime is finally doing what nobody thought it would ever do, a time skip. Yes, the show is aging up the characters, so here's how the time skip in Pokémon Horizons is gonna work. Basically, after a shocking conclusion to the current anime arc, either naturally or through some kind of time distortion, the cast will be older by the time the next season starts. I mean, just look at Liko. She's got a new outfit and a new hairstyle, her indigo clip is snapped into 2 pieces, and most importantly, she's very long. Personally, I preferred Liko's color scheme from the old series, or should I say the young series, but she still looks pretty cool. Then we've got the older version of Roy who basically turned into Guel from Gundam, meaning that he looks way more badass than when he was younger. And there are 2 things that really pop out about his design. First, he's got a bracelet with a megastone, and second, he's got this new vest that looks like he cut up Professor Freed's coat with a pair of scissors. This is actually an important point, because Professor Freed was the kind of trainer that Roy always dreamt of becoming, a powerful adventurer who everyone could count on. But unfortunately for Freed, it looks like he's getting sealed just like Gojo got sealed in Jujutsu Kaisen, which is actually pretty funny since we were already joking about how similar these characters were way back in 2023. And with Freed now out of the picture, I guess that Roy's vest symbolizes how he is going to be taking on the role of his old mentor as the group's protector. Personally, I'll miss Freed since he's such a cool character, but it does make perfect sense that he's leaving. After all, one major criticism of the first 2 years of Pokémon Horizons was that Freed was constantly bailing Liko and Roy out of trouble, especially in the first year, which really seemed to slow their character growth. Of course, it turns out that showing how much Liko and Roy over-relied on Freed was how the anime set up their development from weak trainers into fairly capable trainers, which is what the Terastal training arc was all about. And fortunately, they leveled up enough to stand on their own 2 feet just in time. As for Dot, she looks less tomboyish and more like a big, awkward caterpillar. On the other hand, all the crew's Pokemon look pretty much the same, except that Terapagos is now fast asleep in a Pokeball. It's also worth noting that Captain Pikachu is still around, because Pikachu, and that since he's Freed's best buddy, it's really touching to see him holding onto Freed's goggles as a reminder of their time together. Also, Roy now has a shiny Mega Lucario. Now, obviously, since the new season is called Mega Voltage, the show will tie into the upcoming Pokémon Legends ZA video game, so the setup for a lazy Lucario shtick was just too easy. What's more interesting is the brand new character Uruto and his partner. We don't know if Uruto is a friend or an enemy just yet, but we do know that he has a hairy mantine on his head, and more importantly, he's buddies with a Sableye, one of my favorite Pokemon. Not to mention that Mega Sableye is a much more refreshing Mega Pokemon to bring into the main cast than Mega Lucario. My guess is that Uruto himself enters the show as a rival but slowly warms up to the party to help fill that masculine void left by Freed, which makes you realize that the only other time we saw that 2-2 male to female party balance, aside from a few cameo situations, was way back in the XY anime with Ash, Serena, Clement, and Bonnie. And we know how much everyone loved that combination, so that could be a good sign. Then again, Uruto could also end up being Roy's equivalent to Gary or Paul, only time will tell. Of course, I'm also wondering what's going to happen to the other Rising Volt tacklers. Presumably we need Orla, Murdoch, Molly, and Ludlow to operate the Brave Olivine, which we can see in the new season's promo poster, so it doesn't look like they are getting sealed or murdered along with Freed, which probably means that they'll age up too. And that is very bad news for Ludlow.